The Parliamentary Hearing Committee will conduct hearing on complaints against proposed Chief Justice Hari Krishna Karki this Thursday. A total of 29 complaints have been received against Acting Chief Justice Karki, who has been recommended for the top post of the judiciary by the Constitutional Council. Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. The Parliamentary Hearing Committee decides to hold a hearing with proposed Chief Justice Hari Krishna Karki. Complaints filed against Karki made public, questions raised on the legitimacy of the committee. Fringe parties that separated from CPN UML and CPN Mahath Centre struggle for their existence. Efforts to form a front and unite unsuccessful, seek for support of big parties. Continuous exploitation of the Churi region puts the area in danger. Government's decision to raise income by exporting rocks, gravel and sand in dispute. And Nepal up against Pakistan A in the ACC Women's Emerging Teams Cup tomorrow. Nepali men's team also playing a warm-up match against UAE tomorrow. The Supreme Court has been functioning under Acting Chief Justice for 16 months now. The appointment of a Chief Justice has been uncertain amid lack of political consensus and procedural hassle. However, now the hearing has begun of proposed candidate for the post, Justice Hari Krishna Karki. 29 cases have been filed against Karki. The Parliamentary Hearing Committee is to hold the hearing with proposed Chief Justice at the Supreme Court, Hari Krishna Karki, on 15th of June. Karki was recommended for the position of Chief Justice from the Constitutional Council on the 8th of May, while a period of 10 days was issued to register grievances on the 30th of May. Officiating justices have registered complaints on financial and legal grounds against Karki. One of the complaints claims that his appointment as a justice itself was unconstitutional. Likewise, questions have also been raised towards the Constitutional Council that recommended Karki for the post, saying that due process were not taken and that Karki did not possess the qualification required to be a Chief Justice. Other complaints allege Karki was recommended as a result of political lobbying and that he is a CPN UML cadre. Karki has also been alleged of abusing his authority while serving at the Attorney General's office and Nepal Bar Association. Officiating justices have shed light on the financial burden of appointing a Chief Justice for just 1 month, as Karki is to retire on 5th of August. Karki has also been alleged of involvement in the dispute of construction of Supreme Court building and of interfering on the investigations for financial irregularities in the construction of Bhaktapur District Court building. So far, apart from Deepak Raj Joshi, all other candidates proposed by the Constitutional Council have been appointed for Chief Justice post regardless of the number of complaints. Finance Minister Prakash Sharan Mahath has expressed the commitment of ensuring the effective implementation of the budget of the upcoming fiscal year. Responding to queries on the budget raised by the members of the House of Representatives, Finance Minister Mahath said that the government would proceed with a work plan to increase the capital expenditure. Saying the budget was focused on creation of employment opportunities in the country, Minister Mahath added that despite several necessities, ambitions and demand, the resources were limited. He accepted that budget was allocated to other sectors without curbing expenses in significant projects. Minister Mahath also said that the donors were prepared to extend their support, but Nepal required to increase the expenditure capacity. The national politics has seen several polarization and unification between communist and social parties. CPN UML, Mahath Centre and Samajwadi parties had at one point formed a task force for unification, which did not conclude. Now there are speculations that the former Nepal Communist Party NCP is to be revived. Nepal Samajwadi Party, under the leadership of former Maoist leader Baburam Bhattarai and Maoist Centre, were to unify at one time, which could not materialize. Leaders of these parties have brought up the possibility of unification when the issue of conflict-era cases surface. The Nepal Communist Party, that was formed some 6 years ago, parted ways to form 3 different parties. CPN Unified Socialist under Madhav Kumar Nepal was formed after breaking away from CPN UML. Now, Nepal himself has been expressing the need to revive the former CPN UML, while leader Bamdev Gautam has soldiered the responsibility of campaigning for a unification. However, a few leaders from Samajwadi and UML doubt on the possibility in the current scenario. Maoist Center, Unified Socialist and Janata Samajwadi Party had even determined for a format for unification. However, the issue of power division has posed an obstruction. Kamala River is the second biggest river of Madhya province. Following the government decision to export rocks, gravel and sand to curb the trade deficit, those involved in illegal extraction of river resources have become active again. Ignoring the arrangement which prohibits extraction of rivers' resources at a distance of 500 meters from community forests, electricity transmission lines and rivers, illegal extraction of river materials including rocks, gravel and sand has resumed by using heavy equipment vehicles. Illegal extraction of river resources has also increased in more than a dozen rivers in Kantipur of Sudur Paschim province, including Mahakali River. Extraction by following the regulations set by the District Coordination Committee is underway in just a few places. Local residents have begun protesting the illegal extraction after becoming aware about the exploitation of natural resources. Following the government introduction of the policy for extraction and export of mines while ensuring the conservation of the Chure region and the environment, illegal activities have increased in the area. Some people are of the view that extraction at the Chure region for export of rocks, sand and gravel will desertify the Tarai region. Water sources have begun drying up while monsoon rain has been causing floods and inundations because of encroachment and illegal extraction in the Chure region. In the budget announcement 2 years ago, CPN UML Chair KP Sharma Oli-led government had introduced the policy for export of rocks, gravel and sand, which had met with protests from the opposition, which is now in the government. Back then, the Supreme Court had applied brakes on the exploitation of the Chure on 18th of June 2021. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, today we've asked people in several provinces what should be done to protect the Chure region. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
चुरे क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ अहिले ढुङ्गा गिट्टी बालुवाहरू उत्खनन भइरहेको त्यसले रोक्नु पर्छ।
खाली भएको ठाउँ जग्गाहरुमा चाहिँ बढी बेला रोप्ने,
खोला नालाहरूको सदुपयोग गर्ने गर्यो भने चुरे चाहिँ संरक्षण हुन्छ।
सरकारले बनाएको नीति नियमलाई कडाइसित पालना गरेर
चुरे एरिया पर्ने जुन स्थानीय तहहरु छ उहाँहरुलाई यो चुरे संरक्षण गर्दाखेरिको फाइदा र घाटाको विषयमा पहिलो कुरो जानकारी गराउनु पर्यो।
स्थानीय महिलाहरूलाई लक्षित गरी चुरे संरक्षणका कार्यक्रमहरू सरकारले ल्याउनु पर्छ।
चुरेको टप टु बटम संरक्षणका लागि आगलागी नियन्त्रण, चरीचरण नियन्त्रण र भूक्षय नियन्त्रण गर्नुपर्छ।
दाउरा बोट बिरुवा काट्नु भएन।
यसपालि त गभर्नमेन्टले बालुवा गिट्टीको चाहिँ एकदम फ्री गरिदिया छ, जहाँ पनि लगे हुन्छ त्यो चाहिँ अविलम्ब रोक्नु पर्छ।
जंगल हाम्रो छ त्यो विनाश गर्न दिनु भएन।
सरकारले चाहिँ चासो लिएरै चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ।
खोलाहरुमा दोहन अलिकति अव्यवस्थित भएको
आम जनता र सरकारले शुद्ध यसमा चाहिँ ध्यान दिनुपर्छ।
प्रदेशको सरकारले, स्थानीय सरकारले र स्थानीय जुन मेयर हो चाहे उपमेयर होस् त्यो उहाँहरूले संरक्षण गरेर चुरेलाई बचाउने गर्नुपर्छ।
रुखहरू नकाटिने, त्यहाँका गिटी बालुवाहरू बाहिर निकासा नगरेदेखि संरक्षण हुन्छ।
स्थानीय सरकारले सक्रिय हुनुपर्छ।
चुरेको संरक्षणका लागि गरेको जुन लगानी छ त्यो लगानी चाहिँ सही ठाउँमा व्यवस्थित तरिकाले अगाडि बढाउनुपर्छ।
वृक्षारोपण गर्नुपर्ने।
8 people, including 4 children, were killed in a car accident in Bhutan's Swargadwari today. Acting Medical Superintendent of District Hospital Bhutan, Pramila Khanal, informed that 8 people returning from a pilgrimage in Swargadwari were killed when the car they were travelling on met with the accident near Bhingri of Swargadwari municipality. According to the police, the deceased have been identified as 35-year-old Sarita Sharma Pokhrel, her 2 sons, 14-year-old Bishal and 9-year-old Bikash of Dang Tulsipur Sub-Metropolis 15, as well as Lamahi Municipality 5's 49-year-old Tara Bahadur Kumal, Lamahi 7's 40-year-old Govinder Shah and his 30-year-old wife Radha and 9-year-old son Aditya. Chief District Police Office, Bhutan, DSP Subhash Khadka informed that the identity of one of the deceased is yet to be ascertained. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal's wife Sita Dahal has been admitted to the hospital today. Dahal, who has been suffering from a complex form of Parkinson's disease for a long time, was admitted to Kathmandu's Norvik Hospital this morning. The Prime Minister's Secretariat has informed that she was admitted to Norvik Hospital for routine treatment. Personal doctor of Premier Dahal, Yuvraj Sharma and other doctors at Norvik Hospital are involved in the treatment of Sita Dahal. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we asked you what should be done to stop vegetables grown by farmers from rotting in the fields. 48% voted for option A, facilitate marketization, 30% for B, make imports strict, and 22% for C, construct cold storage. And here's today's question: why has public interest not grown towards eye donation? Your options are A, technical complications, B, lack of awareness, and C, unwillingness of family members. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us.
Sports news.
Nepal are up against Pakistan A tomorrow in the ACC Women's Emerging Teams Cup. The match at Mission Road Ground in Hong Kong is scheduled to start at 6:45 a.m. Nepal time. A strong Pakistani team will be led by skipper Fatima Sana, who is their spearhead bowler. Pakistan are one of the main contenders to lift the title. Team Nepal are in high spirits after registering a 3-2 series win against host Malaysia last week. However, the team has not been able to hold a strong practice. Nepal were given the opportunity to play in the Emerging Teams Cup after Thailand pulled out of the tournament, citing problems in visa processing. Nepal are in Group A alongside Pakistan A, India A, and hosts Hong Kong. Likewise, Group B consists of teams from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, UAE, and Maldives. The top two teams from each group will qualify for the semi-finals. Nepal will face India A on 17th of June in their second match of the tournament, and Hong Kong on 20th of June in their last group stage match. Warm-up matches in Zimbabwe are starting from tomorrow in preparation for the upcoming ICC World Cup qualifiers. Nepal will be playing their first warm-up match against United Arab Emirates tomorrow. The match at Old Henry's Cricket Ground is scheduled to kick off at 1:45 p.m. Nepal time. Nepal is the only team that will not play up warm-up matches against any of the 10 test-playing nations participating in the World Cup qualifiers. Nepal will have to satisfy with the warm-up matches against the UAE and Oman. Prior to arriving in Zimbabwe, Nepal had recently played 2 practice matches in South Africa against the Netherlands and Scotland, which they both lost. Nepal's main challenge will be to improve on their batting, which was exposed in their practice matches in South Africa. Nepal are undefeated against the UAE in their last 4 encounters. Their second warm-up match will be against Oman this Thursday. Nepal will face host Zimbabwe in their first match of the ICC World Cup qualifiers. Nepal are in Group A along with Zimbabwe, West Indies, USA and the Netherlands. Likewise, Group B comprises teams from Sri Lanka, Ireland, Scotland, Oman and the UAE. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.